I would tell you, and this is where Dylan has blind spots.
Do you have any blind spots?
I'm sure I'm a human being.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm a human being. Okay. I'm sure I have blind spots. Okay. I haven't found them yet, but I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a place where I just can't.
Can't see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome
to deep waters.
Where are you going right now?
So they crank the 5G up, and then we just all get shaken and baking microwave. I love it.
I didn't say that, you absolute moron.
There was no dinosaurs. Those were Nephilim giants from the Bible.
And Lucifer is in the Vatican?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
I think space is probably like
Just a giant liquid.
build it up, seal the well, when it's about to collapse, release the gays.
Are you going to get the jab?
Never.
Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.
Oh, we're in it. Welcome to another Conspiracy Social Club. Bang, Dylan, how are you? Young Ryan, how's the eye?
All good.
It's not all good, but we'll get to that. I'm good. I just want to have fun today.
Okay.
I just want to have a blast.
Yeah.
But I have spent the morning screaming at Filipinos, Tar and Thaddeus.
Do you feel bad yelling at Filipinos?
100%.
Because they really are the Care Bears of humanity.
The sweetest people. And I said so many times, I know that you're a lovely person and you probably have a lovely family, but you work for an entity that has outsourced your job so that they don't have to pay Americans what they pay you. And it's sad.
I mean, but dude, I used to have a Filipino editor, and I would literally send them like $1 million in a Filipino money,
Right.
just to do like 3 edits.
Right.
I'm sure their money's worth nothing.
Yeah. I asked, and it's just like, I wasn't asking in like a racist kind of way. I was just like, they don't have the records of anything. So I was like, can you look up this case number? They're like, it's Aetna. And can you look up the CEO of Aetna real quick?
I got Dana on Aetna.
Look up the CEO of Aetna. What is this person's name?
Roman Zukov?
Roman Zukov. Hey, Roman, I hope that you are accosted by a murder of crows and that your eyes are ripped out and you walk the rest of your days blind like Oedipus, okay? I fucking hate you. So I'm trying to recover from a pretty tough morning. I've been screaming at Filipinos, but I was like, where are you guys? Like, who am I talking to?
Yeah, 100%.
And she was like, we're in Asia. I said, what country are you in? She said, we're in Asia. I said, what country are you in?
She was afraid you were going to Liam Neeson her and show up and kill her whole family.
Good luck. But I was like, what country are you in? She was like, Southeast Asia. I was like, that's a region. What country are you in? She eventually said the Philippines because it just didn't make any sense to me. Anyways, Ryan's still not doing good. I think we should throw up a picture of the eye.
I think we should show it, his Rihanna eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like you got headbutted by a squid dick guy.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Have you seen his hog?
Who?
CB.
It's huge?
Oh, he's got an unreal hog.
It's like fucking Lovecraftian nightmare.
How big is it?
Pull it up. We can't show it on YouTube, but I mean, you got to see this thing. It looks like an aquatic entity. It's fucking horrifying.
Get it. Oh my.
You probably got a Yandex. Oh, can you see
There
it?
it is. I don't think it's that big.
But for a flassy?
Oh yeah, dude, look at that.
Look
Holy
at how
shit.
long
Yeah.
that thing
But you know what? I don't think it necessarily I think that black guys just hang, but it doesn't mean it gets bigger. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that gets bigger.
Hot black talk. Welcome to this podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Hot black talk.
Yeah, it's like Callan sitting in this seat right now.
Oh my God. Just clean up aisle 5.
SamTripoli.com. Quiet. October 15th.
October 15th. I'm also going to be featured on Rumble's premium content. Rumble.com/quiet. Go check that out. And Tulsa, Oklahoma's coming up. So enjoy that. Thank you to everybody who came to Louisville. Without you, I don't know what I would be doing. Crush Fest, as always, dropping hammers, best time ever. So yeah, that's it. Anything else?
Did you get an Xbox yet?
Nope. Working on it. That'll be my next thing. I've been busy.
Fans were telling me I'm probably steering you the wrong way. If you think that the Penguin is too woke, which you're an idiot for thinking that, then you're probably not. Baldur's Gate probably isn't a good idea.
Why? Because that's super woke?
No, it's just got a lot of like...
Find a trans lesbian to give you the keys to the next level.
I mean, it's essentially that. I've played 270 hours of that. Gay vampires, gay druids, straight clerics, straight hot-ass clerics. Can you pull up Shadowheart real quick? Shadowheart, Baldur's Gate 3. This is your main love interest.
Do you bang, bro?
Yeah, you do bang. Yeah. She's a dime.
You bang, bro?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Oh my God, yeah. There's bestiality in it. There's a druid that can transform into a bear, and you can bang the bear.
And just hold on, the bear bangs, or you bang the bear?
Bear bangs.
Bear bangs. Boom.
Yeah.
It's getting weird out there.
Yeah, it's getting weird out there.
I'm all for it.
Speaking of getting weird, prayers for Sarasota.
Prayers for Florida. Prayers for all this weather manipulation stuff's got to stop. Real quick, can we start off with the craziest story? Or I know you got some stories.
No, it's fine.
Can you look up who Candace Owens' father-in-law is? This is the craziest thing.
Look up her husband. Quick. There's all weird shit going on with Candace Owens.
So with everything in the content creating space, you always go, who is the real deal? Who's authentic? Who is a plant?
Thank you so much for bringing this up, because I've been on the old CSCs when we used to do them exclusively on Rockfin at the Culver City studio. I brought up this graph of independent media financing. All these people it's essentially the same as fucking Maddow.
100%.
It's the same fucking thing. It's just on YouTube.
Yeah. So this whole discussion's been is a lot of people in the deep conspiracy world label everybody controlled op,
which is unproductive.
Okay, but there's been a lot of yelling about Candace Owens. She there's pictures she's taken. There's a lot of imagery. Like one of it's she's at some Catholic church, but the floor is all in the Freemason patterns of white and black. It's all this crazy stuff, right?
Yeah. Over under 2 times she's been to Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I mean it's very interesting. So she married a guy. Her husband's dad is in charge of the Knights of Malta Israeli division, which is basically the Vatican's kind of their offices in the Vatican.
Or Knights of Malta are an offshoot of Templar, right?
Yes. So if you go to Twitter and you just put Israeli Knights of Malta leader, I think you will find.
What are you finding on Goog's One-Eyed Rye?
Yeah, why aren't you going to Yandex that shit? We should get sponsored by Yandex. Who do we talk? What Russian office do we got to call?
I'll call him. I'll call.
Oh, dude, if we get sponsored by Yandex, then we're going to have to hear about it all the whole time.
God, I would love, dude, if we were sponsored by Yandex, it would break our code of being sponsored by D's and M's only, but I would wear merch every episode.
Everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Anywhere it come up?
Not. I just put his name in also.
So there's really there's Catholics, and then there's Vatican Catholics.
Yeah, that's been my whole thing. That you could go into any religion and do that.
Yeah.
There's this, and then there's this. Right. That's every religion out there.
Yeah, there's Jays, and then there's Hasids that bother you on subways.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, but it's he's the Vatican's Israeli office. That's it. That's as deep as you get.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gregorian chanting, I think, at the Candace Owen household.
Gotta be, dude. So if you go to Twitter, you just put...
Yeah, look at him. He just looks like a fucking vampire.
Does it say that he's part of the Knights of Malta? I should have sent this to you guys.
Here's
think you
something
should
about
have.
Jews. He became the deputy chair and trustee of the Council of Christians and Jews.
Yeah. I mean this is the Knights of Malta shit.
Okay, well, it's not yet.
Go to Twitter.
Oh, there's a whole thing about anti-Semitism in Israel.
Okay, go to Twitter.
Okay, I'll go to Twitter.
Why don't you
By the way,
don't put too much pressure on him, okay?
Why?
He's got
'Cause his
one
eye?
eye. Yeah.
Knights of Malta, Candace Owens.
Twitter is like
I love. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Look at this fucking
it's
thing.
so crazy. Twitter, Elon has turned Twitter, and I don't know how you can be a fan of Elon. Just look at the way he jumped at that Trump rally. You want to talk about a fucking bitch? God damn it. Anyways, Twitter is more conspiratorial search engine than Yandex is right now.
Yeah,
That's
great
just-
point.
that's
great
what
point.
Twitter is
Great
now.
point. Read that. Will you read that, Ryan?
Yeah. Here is Grandmaster Mark Mason of the Grand Lodge of England, also Order of the Garter.
Oh,
A Knight of Malta, parentheses, Order of St. John, who patronized Turning Point UK, was founded by Lord Michael Farmer, father-in-law of Candace Owens. Candace worked with Turning Point and met his son George.
some crazy shit there, dude.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, when you brought on that Candace Owens video about how,
Yeah.
throat fart.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was revolting, dude.
Throat fart, dude. That is so funny.
It's when your throat, it doesn't get all the way out.
That is so funny, dude.
So yeah, what are we gonna do moving forward? Are we gonna ban Candace Owens from this podcast because it's all
dude.
Vatican fucking propaganda?
Yeah, I mean, but it's hilarious, dude. It's like, oh man, she's controlled up. Well, how's she allowed to say everything she's allowed to say? And then you find out, oh, that's why. Bro, I love this meme.
What is this?
This meme right here.
Riddle me this.
This is such a on point meme.
If the government cannot protect the vote, the border, or its citizens, then why do we have a government?
Who is in on that?
Okay, so this is the problem we have right now with and I'm gonna read this this Yuval Harari book, Nexus, on you know, human beings are the most brilliant thing in a billion light years of anything, right? So how are we so stupid, right? So here's the thing. There's something to be said for buying into institutions even if they're not working at 100% clip. Because the alternative is you get people walking around dressed like this guy
Yeah.
and you,
Yeah.
right? And we have Haiti, right? So I think that one of the most insidious...
Did we say last week that Haiti is anarchy?
I think we said it on Patreon, but like, you know, what's the anarchist guy? Michael, the Russian dude, really nice guy.
Michael Malice.
Michael Malice. So like anarchists and shit who are like, yeah, I don't think we should have a police force.
You're like, yeah, it's called Haiti.
It's called Haiti.
Yeah, that's so great,
You
dude.
moron.
That's so well done.
So the insidious thing about Trump, and it's not all on Trump, you know, we've talked about it before. People are like, oh, it's so bad that conspiracies have become so mainstream. Well, if the Bush administration hadn't have walked us through the Middle East just bombing millions of people for no reason,
for sure.
we wouldn't be so conspiratorial.
It's a uniparty, bro.
But the thing is, when you make distrust in institutions so easily accessible without any intellectual responsibility to arrive at that conclusion, it would be better to just, in my opinion, to just believe in the institutions that are failing than have a complete distrust of them and want to dress like Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
By the way, just so you know,
Yeah.
what he's saying is we should just give them the benefit of the doubt, because if we don't, we dress like this.
Yeah.
But what I would tell him is the people who dress like that were the ones who listened to the government when it came to COVID. That looks like half the COVID retards I saw walking down the street in West Hollywood believing like air aids were coming to get them. Okay?
I'm not saying that you can't ask questions. You just have to arrive at the questions earned. You can't just scroll on Twitter and be programmed into hating the government. I wholeheartedly disagree, dude.
Yeah. I think questioning our government is the way the government gets in line.
Right, but you have to get there through reading and actually studying shit. You can't just have this fog of distrust and suck it up and fart it out like we're doing right now. It's not really productive.
You're
an OG in this space. You have a lot of people who are not OGs who are trafficking in your shit.
I disagree with you on this, because so much of the misinformation that is out there is government propaganda presented as, or astroturfed as like a conspiracy theorist fucking question the government. So much of the misinformation that we're dealing with, when you go back far enough, is somehow related to some intelligence bullshit. Like, it happens all the time.
Right, but okay, so let's talk about fixing the problem. Let's not talk about abolishing the institution.
No, I'm with you on that.
Okay, so like, this shit is this red pill shit. They're starting to be like Doritos. Like, we're dropping by gas stations and we're taking these fucking destroy the government pills, and it's like, you didn't earn that. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay. I just don't understand how we're supposed to change anything. Are you suggesting voting our way out of this? Is that what you think is going to happen?
No. It's honestly, dude, it happens all the fucking time. And it's honestly, it might be a fucking CIA playbook, like a hot route that we constantly fall into. Look at BLM. Look at anarchistic movements. You're missing the fucking point.
Okay.
BLM turned into, we had an opportunity to talk about money in politics, money going to DAs, money going to prosecutors, fixing education. What are the reasons? How did we get here? Instead, we turned it into this sloppy, intellectually lazy, woke, fuck the police movement.
Yeah,
right? Okay. And then people bought themselves $1 million mansions.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is not a responsible way to go towards fixing our government.
Okay.
It's just not.
I understand what you're saying.
Whoa, Smirk. What's going on, Smirk?
Because it's a meme. It's just a meme.
But
it is asking great questions. That if the role...
Why do we have a government is not a great question.
No.
That's not a good question.
That's not it. It's not saying that. What it's saying is, if the government's role is to do this, this, and this, and it's doing none of it, then why are we allowing it to function? If it's doing none of it, what it's supposed to do.
But
a great example is FEMA. FEMA, it looks like it's adversarial to its own citizens right now.
Well, they've committed to hiring diverse people.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the hurricane people. We're this close to filling our quota for trans lesbians to get them out there to help you get food and shelter. I'm not trying to make fun of the people in the bad situation. What I'm trying to say is, like, you are holding the government to an idealistic view that we should support it more than put its feet to the fire.
What is more idealistic than why do we have a government? What is more in the clouds, not practical, not on ground floor than why do we have a government? I think that's the most realistic question out there. When you have a completely Sam, beat it out.
Failing institution.
Beat it out. Why do we have a government? Why do we allow the government to operate? Okay, where does that question lead us to? What's next?
To me, it goes, we have to make fundamental changes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that is achieved. I mean, the guy in that may not be the guy to ask that question to, but I do believe there's real when you have a government that's so lying to you, going, "Hey, we just sent $1 gazillion to Ukraine, $1 gazillion to Israel, and $1 gazillion to Lebanon," which I feel for Lebanon. This is not an anti-Lebanon, but that just seems like a great way to fund Hezbollah that you are trying to tell us is a terrorist organization, which just inflames this conflict even more.
John F. Kennedy got killed because he said, "We don't want the world to be a Pax Americana." The world is now a Pax Americana.
Couldn't agree more, dude.
So America does really just one thing. Sells weapons. If we can sell it to both sides, that's the best situation.
Well, my whole opinion is this, is that we are moving into our phase where we are basically the U.S. is just morphing in to the armed wing of this giant, whatever this system is. Whatever the system is, whether it's the Babylonian money magic people, whatever it is, they realized in World War II they could not take Germany, or they presented it as, we can't take Germany, so we're going to use our Federal Reserve to fund the other side of the war. And we can get into really deep shit if you guys want on that. I don't want to get in fights or anything, but there's a lot more to that even too.
Well,
but we are morphing in to the arms wing of whatever this apparatus is, of this apex predator elites.
Well, I would love to continue vaguely blaming the Jews for this, but can I
didn't even say the Jews.
Well, we were getting
I
close
did not
to it.
say the
Okay,
Jews.
sorry, then I
did not say the Jews. You just love that shit. Okay? But it's like going back to your original thing. The government is not functioning right now. I don't believe it's functioning because it's being done on purpose.
Well, then
and to sit there and go, we got to put more faith into it, is not going to save anything.
I'm saying putting faith into it is better than abolishing it, but neither of those two options are productive.
I don't know abolishing it is the answer, but a real restructuring of it is necessary. I mean,
so then let's talk about restructuring it. Let's not talk about
right.
Bullshit.
Right.
Check in, wellness check on Rye. Can you look at screens? Like, is that okay?
Yeah. Oh, I'm totally fine.
Has it been hard watching pornography?
Yeah. How many?
I have been rocking the blue light glasses because there's been a slight bit of extra strain, but other than that, been completely fine.
And you're using the blue light glasses
to jerk off
when you milk? Yeah.
Yeah. I tried wearing them in the shower, like as I had the shower going.
Yeah.
And then they really steamed up. So that was a little bit of an issue.
Okay.
We gotta get young Ryan a milking table.
It is the least we can do.
We had to give him a milking table. Dude.
You know, there's a sex trafficking massage parlor literally around the corner from here.
How do you know that?
Because it is I've never gotten a rub and tug.
Yeah.
Have you?
I don't know.
It's so funny because the word yes it's just one word. There's not a lot of letters in it. But he took so many more letters and so many more words to say yes, which was interesting. There's this
Never meant to anything, dude.
There's this place around the corner. If you see a massage parlor that has a very kind of milk toasty white and red sign, and you cannot see inside, you're on the right track. I asked the guys around here, is that a place where you can get your bean pulled? And they were like, we had a person who used to work here who went in, and there were cops waiting inside doing a bust on the place. Oh. And they were like, what are you doing here? He was like, no, it's just a wrong store. I thought this was a Subway. I'll see you guys later. And just turned around and walked out. But anyways, you can.
I thought this was a Subway.
We'll pay for it if you want to hop over there and get milk.
Dude, we're in fucking California. We're in California. Why are you dealing with hand jobs? Why are you the hand job police? I mean, I can steal $999 worth of stuff from CVS, but I can't get a hand job?
I went to go get CeraVe facial cleanser the other day.
Oh, is that a money shot?
It looks like cum. It looks exactly like cum. Can we listen? I'm fine with it. Like we don't need to put any dyes in it, but we could tweak the hue a little bit because it's weird shooting cum into my hand and then throwing it in my face. Yeah. But it was behind glass, and I'm going to leave California within the next couple of years. Can you go to the Gavin Newsom story?
Where are you going?
East Coast somewhere, either, I don't know,
I'm
Jersey,
so ready.
Virginia.
Okay.
So Gavin Newsom vetoes homelessness spending accountability bill, arguing similar measures are already in place. This is hilarious.
This is absolute government corruption.
6 months after a scathing, can you zoom in a little bit more? My eyes are fine, but not. Scathing state audit found that California had failed to track $24 billion it spent to combat homelessness over the past half a decade. So we had this thing where we were like, hey, you guys have spent $24 billion. Where did it go to? What's going on? Why is homelessness up? All that stuff. In a message explaining his decision to kill this measure, which had near unanimous bipartisan support in the state legislature, Newsom said that while I support the efforts to increase accountability and the effectiveness of our state homelessness programs, similar measures are already in place. So how are there similar measures if you guys are trying to cover up the fact that you're money laundering and paying your friends $24 billion worth of state financing?
100%. And if you go, okay, there's measures already in place. Well, what has your auditing told you? Where is the money?
What are the measures?
What are the measures that is auditing where $24 billion goes? Listen, I know we just ripped on anarchists, and I agree with you on a lot of that stuff. Libertarians. This is more and more saying we need to get rid of like 90% of this government. Like I'm not saying get rid of the actual functioning of it, but there's so much bureaucratic bullshit. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you $24 billion, probably $20 billion of that just goes to administrative costs.
We've had, principled people, God, I forget this guy's name, but he was a big financial regulator, in the Friedman era. And he was kind of like a Thomas Massey type where he was so convicted about his beliefs that he wouldn't play ball with the rest of Congress, and people were really annoyed with him, but he was too principled, and he was like, fuck that. We need somebody like a Thomas Massey to spearhead somebody, and it'll eventually be corrupted. That's just the way things go. But we'll have a couple of good years, and we'll regress.
Right.
To come in and really investigate. The IRS doesn't need 70,000 agents to investigate us.
Yeah.
We need them to investigate the government.
Yeah, 100%.
Turn your muzzles towards Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
And if that guy ever runs for president, fuck off. I will never vote for Gavin Newsom ever. I'll just sit out.
Well,
this guy's
he wants
such
to run.
a scumbag.
He wants to run, and I think he really, in deep down inside, wants Trump to win because I think he thinks because Trump can only do 4 years, right? We've said this before.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, who knows? It's going to be chaos. Whatever however this election ends.
Yeah.
And it's crazy right now, but yeah, dude, this is all bureaucracy. I mean, right now, I think the government or the federal election committees or something like that, I saw they're investigating Act Blue because they've been discussing, there are some beliefs, and I'll get into why it's true, that Act Blue is just a front for the Democrats to jack money for their elections, and it's 100% true. BLM, FTX were all just fronts for the Democrats to make money because, dude, Hillary Clinton killed the cow. She killed the cow. When she forced her way above Bernie Sanders, she disenfranchised a big part of the base in the DNC.
Me. She definitely
Right?
me. Yeah.
So this is how bad it got for the Democrats after that. They had to go basically to Mexico to fundraise. They couldn't make any money. So they've been figuring out this way to do it. So what happened was, and he brings up BLM and all that stuff. And it's like, under this belief that was somehow a naturally occurring thing, which it wasn't at all. It was completely and utterly an astroturfed movement in which to cause chaos in the country, divide and conquer, and also money launder for the DNC, because everyone's sending money to BLM, and they're just siphoning it off to these elections and then kicking these pagan witches who literally talked about how they were Marxist witches, talking about how they want to destroy the nuclear family and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a giant money laundering scheme. And I'm guarantee you, dude, if we look hard enough, we'll find it on the Republican side as well. Yeah. I'm not saying it's
but when you have so California is what, the 6th largest GDP in the world, or 7th or something like that.
Higher, 4th.
We're in Chinatown.
Yeah.
We're living in Chinatown.
I don't know why I shook my head this way, because I meant this way.
Yeah.
100%.
So Newsom is spearheading. I mean, if you think about the level of corruption, $24 billion goes essentially missing behind this opaque veil. We try to audit it. We kick the can. So Newsom goes, we'll get back to you in 6 months. We got to try to fudge the numbers a little bit. What happened was the numbers were so fucked. It was so corrupt that there was no creative financial writing that could have painted this as an above board operation.
Yeah, 100%.
So what we do is go, hey, need an update on that. They go, we don't have anything. Okay, we have to pass a bill. It has unanimous bipartisan support, and then King Pigeon, he looks like a bird.
Yeah.
Comes in and vetoes it.
Yeah, I agree.
When are we going to start? When are we going to start? What is the word where?
Gallows? The gallows?
Oh,
bring back the gallows?
I would love to bring back the gallows. But when are we going to impeach? That's the word I'm looking for.
We tried, right?
How can
we didn't recall?
How the fuck is this guy not getting impeached? And why can't the people vote on impeachment? Why does Congress get to vote on impeachment?
No, but we tried to have a recall, and people just vote emotionally. Mm-hmm. It's just, listen, dude, there's been a real movement out there on Twitter to repeal the 19th Amendment. I am not part of that movement. Okay, I am not a part of that movement. Yeah. But if it happened, I wouldn't complain either. I'd be like, okay, let's keep
you know who I think is a big spearheader of that?
Who?
Candace Owens and her fucking father-in-law.
Yeah, probably, dude. Yeah. Probably. So so listen, this is what's going on, right? So
and we got to get away from state politics.
No, but people hate Gavin Newsom. Yeah. So if I go, hey man, here we're gonna hire you to solve the homeless problem, and then it looks like, hey man, we're getting it done. We're getting people off the street. Homelessness is being taken care of. I start going, what's going to happen to my job? So if we said to young Ryan, listen, Ryan, you're going to have a job until we're done talking about all the conspiracies, right?
Right.
And once we're done with all the conspiracies, we're probably going to have to let you go. Ryan would do anything he can to keep finding new conspiracies.
Well, he gets paid slaves' wages, so I think that he'd probably be like, it's fine. But if he was making good money,
which we're working on, Ryan. We're working on.
If we came in here and we were talking about the UFC and have you seen Kayla Harris?
Yeah.
If she had a man's head,
yeah,
I'd be like, that guy's juicing.
Yeah.
She's a woman.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting.
Absolutely insane. But if we were talking about sports for 2 episodes, he would start texting us fucking Yandex.
Yeah.
Vigilant Fox.
How can you keep the money train going? Yeah. That's exactly what's happening with this. No one's going to fix homelessness because their job depends on homelessness.
Chinatown.
It's fucking Chinatown, dog.
Okay, can you go to the next tab over? All right.
Okay, dude.
Refresh this.
I cannot wait to hear your take on this.
Well, it's
Because-
not. It's not my take. It's Eric Weinstein's take, or Brett Weinstein.
I think this is another trap. I do not believe that this was done with something like an earbud, nor do I think it could have been done.
Okay.
And I would challenge anybody who thinks it could have been done this way. This was not somebody who needed something.
Okay.
Top.
Okay, keep going.
Just shut up.
And so my guess for that was it was the earring or a facsimile of it used to cause everybody to go, I know how they did it. She had somebody talking in her ear. And I won't be surprised if there's some reveal that there's some other earring that this actually was that doesn't do that, or I don't know what it's going to be. But anyway, again, traps abound. That's the thing that I think people need to understand, is that we are now being targeted in order to make us jump at things that aren't real, and that it is important to resist that. I think that.
Okay. There's a lot going on there with what he's saying.
And we talked about it in the beginning of the show.
Okay.
There is a jungle of this shit going on right now.
Right. And
it's very, very easy to buy into it. Very easy to buy into it. It's sexy. It's just super easy to go truth.
Okay.
And the reason why I cannot fucking stand Elon Musk is because he portends to be this arbiter of free speech while he programs people's brains into not thinking freely.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to say to that.
And Zuckerberg's the same.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say to that. All right. He's 100% right. They are flooding the market. And that's after Obama repealed or didn't renew the Smith-Mundt Naturalization Act or something like that, which basically legally now allowed our intelligence agencies or the U.S. government to lie to the American people, propagandize the American people. And after that, the game changed. Dylan, Dylan,
Yeah.
I love you to pieces.
Yeah, you
Your
too.
inability to come to grips that the other side might be right more than you want to admit is a big problem with you. Okay? It's just the truth.
Yeah.
It's 100. Okay,
Sam,
Dylan.
was the CIA lying to us before 2008?
Yeah, but do you understand that there were weird kind of mechanisms put in place to not allow them to openly, freely do it? That they actually had to go around some things to get it done, cutouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's totally right. 100%. Okay. There's a demoralization campaign to, I don't know who to believe, right? There's a demoralization campaign to that because we're mammals and we are meant to follow an alpha, a leader. But if you don't know who to trust, you're like, And I just had this conversation with my good friend Tino yesterday that he's like, I don't know. I go, dude, you got to stop letting it affect you. Anyways, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
So he's 100% correct in that thing. The earring was, in fact, used to talk to her. There is a video in which she's like, oh, hold on. She totally got busted. Now, they probably always had that video there because it, again, goes to him. It seeds doubt between the two sides. Okay? She is performing horribly right now, okay, in all these interviews. She just did something where she thought she was on a Zoom meeting. She didn't realize it was live.
Yeah.
She got caught doing some stuff.
Yeah.
So he's totally right in that aspect. They are laying traps for all of us all the time. And I said this, the first Trump assassination, which I don't believe is a real assassination, the first Trump assassination, within 5 minutes, we had 3 different suspects. Okay? Done on purpose. So you don't know if you're coming or going. He's completely and utterly correct in that. The earring was used for her to listen. Okay?
Yeah.
But he's totally right.
And now we have this race. There's always been this thing in media and in news, a race to first, not race to right.
Right.
Right?
We need to get back to shaming lying.
So what's up?
I was going to say, I think a big part of it also is like Twitter, you get paid. You see it not even just in politics, but now that you get paid for engagement on Twitter, it is just a cesspool.
Something just came out that they changed that.
Good for them. Good for
Yeah,
them.
I mean, there's this guy, Matt Wallace is his name. He's like,
this is
Walsh.
This is where, like, again, I'm all for free speech, but when you have a volume that's so much bigger than other people, I don't think you should be allowed to say whatever you want. Matt Wallace should be banned everywhere.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Because he's just like, what do you see in this picture?
It's just dog shit.
Yeah, I agree.
But the net negative of that dog shit is just unconscionably bad for the country. So what do you do?
I don't know what the answer is, because the opposite of that is weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, where we had a structure where we trust the media and they just completely lied to us. So I don't know what the answer is.
And Hillary's like, you know,
yeah.
you know,
we got to control it before we lose control. And I'm like,
God, would you go away?
Yeah, she's just can't go away.
Go away. Get in a pantsuit, muff dive away.
Yeah, muff dive away.
But this is a perfect example of so when you have this environment of race to first, within the conspiratorial space,
right,
within this cesspool of misinformation,
yes,
that's when it gets really troubling.
Right.
And I think Ian Carroll does a lot of good stuff.
Oh, don't you watch your mouth about my boy.
Listen, and I'm doing this knowing full well that the comments are turned on.
I love Ian Carroll.
Is this Ian Carroll? No, I don't think so.
Jack Unheard?
No,
Okay.
there's another one. Yeah, okay. So this is Ian Carroll. And this doesn't necessarily I apologize. It doesn't have to do with the position of the troubling get to first not right thing. But it creates this environment of like just sloppy reporting.
Okay.
So Ian Carroll writes, starting to think that RFK will actually be more effective in the cabinet, cleaning up the agencies for his first 4 years than he would be as president.
Okay.
That will get everything fixed and ready to roll for his presidency in 2028, assuming Mossad hasn't shot him by then.
Let's play a game, Ryan. Let's play a game called what part of that tweet, we'll go line by line, do you think Dylan had a problem with?
Let's go. Let's go line by line.
Okay. Let's start reading it.
Okay.
Starting to think RFK will actually be more effective in the cabinet cleaning up the agencies for his first 4 years than he would be as president.
Stop.
Okay.
Do you think that is the line
That's
that he had a
interesting.
problem with?
No.
Okay. So we're going to go on. Go to the next one.
Well, can I say whether or not I had a problem with it?
Okay.
No, I mean,
Okay.
I don't
there we
necessarily
go.
agree with that, but
let's go to the next one.
Then that will get everything fixed and ready to roll for his presidency in 2028.
Okay. Ryan, would you say that is an issue for our good friend Dylan Wren?
No, he may not believe that, but it's not an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next line, let's hear the next line.
Assuming Mossad hasn't shot him by then.
Would you say that's the line you think that young Dylan has a problem with?
I think so.
That's correct. I did have a problem with that last line. Yeah, it was the last line I had a problem with. Can you go to the YouTube video over?
Okay, real quick. I will say something to you. And the reason, and I love Ian Carroll. I love Ian Carroll. I love him to pieces, okay? The only reason I have a problem with that line is that RFK Jr. is a fucking Zionist to the core.
Thank you for fucking up the next clip. Can you just let me cook really quickly?
Here, write that down and edit
No,
that out.
you don't need to edit it out, but can you full screen this, please?
Let's turn to a little bit of policy and specifically the topic of Israel, obviously very much in the news right now. So President Biden's administration, they have said that they have no red lines for the state of Israel and their conduct in this war. Do you have any red lines for Israel?
Well,
I was going to do the same thing.
The red lines are that, you don't deliberately, you do everything you can, which I think Israel is doing right now, to avoid civilian casualties. But, there's collateral damage in every war, and they're fighting an implacable enemy. I mean, I don't think there's any country in the world that would go as far as Israel has gone to not invade Gaza.
To think that RFK would be assassinated by Mossad when he's a shill for Israel is retarded.
Oh, well, it's not retarded, okay? And I will tell you that Ian Carroll is a wonderful, wonderful researcher.
I love a lot of stuff that he puts out.
I would tell you, and this is where Dylan has blind spots.
Do you have any blind spots?
I'm sure I'm a human being.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm a human being. Okay. I'm sure I have blind spots. Okay. I haven't found them yet, but I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a place where I just can't.
Can't see.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Dylan won't believe this, but there is really good evidence that Mossad was a part of a group that assassinated this guy's uncle. Okay? There's a really good chance of that. So that is why he writes that. All right? Now, this is where I go to agree with Dylan. I personally think that RFK Jr. is really wonderful on a lot of topics, and he's right when he's right. He's really right. But when he's wrong, that dude is off the reservation.
Right.
And there is a good, I hate to say it because RFK Jr. is the first time there was a candidate that I feel that even though he didn't really have a chance, if we were in a fair election, he had a chance to win. It's the first time I've had personal good friends of mine have personal relationship with this guy, and all of them universally have said he's the nicest guy they've ever met.
The reason why so many people were drawn to RFK is the speak. It is so rare to have politicians that speak to the issues productively. Right. It's not, why do we have a government? It's, this is what's going on with this specific thing. It's one of the reasons why I was drawn to Pete Buttigieg in 2016. He was the first person who said, I don't understand why Republicans have a monopoly on Christian values. I don't understand why. I'm not going to get into it, but there are certain things that you see in politicians when they speak to issues that are going on.
Okay.
It's so rare because Kamala doesn't, Trump doesn't, Hillary doesn't.
But let me just finish my thing about him. The only thing is, we obviously know the guy. I don't know him personally, but if you go, Sam, do you think RFK Jr. has a sex addiction? I would be like, yeah, we know his uncles and his dad were running and gunning, and that's coming from a guy who I have a sex addiction. Who am I to judge?
Right.
Which makes me feel that we know he was on those flights. That's just my opinion. And it just seems like he's on the right side of so much, and he's just, I'm not, just for the sake of not getting in a huge argument, he seems to have a blind spot for certain things.
We're not, Sam.
I have to use the bathroom. Can I go use the bathroom?
Number 2?
Yeah.
Really?
Bad. I'm fighting.
All right, let's break.
Okay, break. You guys huddle. I'm back.
How was it?
I don't have a lot of phobias. One of mine is when all the shitters are taken and then I have to wait. And then I have to see who I'm following. I can't stand that, dude.
It's not a phobia, but it drives me absolutely up a fucking wall. This bathroom, serial abusers of it. The roll on roll.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting one ply at one sheet at a time.
I'm with you, dude.
Why are we doing that?
Why are we doing this?
Put a roll in, come back, fill it up again.
I'm with you. Justify your job. Then there's 2 toilets, both being used.
The warmest
Asian guy
seats.
comes out. I'm like, okay, I'll follow that.
Yeah.
Guy was there. He's still there after I'm done.
Yeah.
What are you getting your mail forwarded there? Get in, get out. It's not your office.
If you're at the house, take a 20-minute shit.
I hate using public toilets.
Look at RedTube. Look at fucking Twitter.
Are you looking at RedTube while you're shitting?
I kind of like.
I can't do two
sometimes-
emotions at the same time.
Sometimes I'll like. This is only like true like Sodom and Gomorrah tedium, but like I'll kind of prep. I'll like dance around and go, hey, is there anything I can find for when I'm completed with my
So you're
movement?
prepping while dude. That's
I'm just browsing,
dude. You are maximizing your time.
Thank you.
If you're like, okay, I got a couple minutes of shitting. Let's prepare for tonight's whack off.
Thank you.
That is so insane to me.
I got a pretty busy schedule. You got to make the most of your minutes. You got to make the most of your minutes.
I can't even begin to try to understand pooping and horny at the same time.
Sure.
Those are two separate emotions that I feel like in my life never have met up.
Well, I mean, listen, the prostate is the button.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
up there. So to me, it makes
you go
all
to
the
the ice
sense in
cream
the
store.
world.
Can I get a poop and porn
Yeah.
swirl, please?
It's called the gold medal ribbon.
I know, dude. Those are two different emotions.
Okay, so I want to update you. This fucking IRA book is just amazing.
Oh, really?
Amazing.
What's it called?
Say Nothing.
Wow.
By Patrick Radkeefe. He wrote the Snakehead about the drug trade, the Golden Triangle drug trade in New York, and he wrote Empire of Pain about the Sacklers. So he does like deep dive narrative journalism books.
Okay.
So talked about last week the hooded men thing, how they tortured those IRA people, and then the Bush administration used it for.
Yeah.
Dude, it has the craziest name. Can you Google this? The 5 techniques. How fucked up is that?
Oh, man.
Go to the Wikipedia.
Do we enjoy this new AI on Google where it just tells you what you're looking for?
Sometimes.
It's trying so hard to save.
Can you zoom in? What are the techniques? It's like in the middle of. Can you read that off, Rye? No, it's the first part. That big paragraph.
Originally developed by British forces in a variety of 20th century conflicts, they are most notable for being applied to detainees in Northern Ireland during the Troubles. The 5 collective methods are prolonged wall standing, hooding, subjection to noise, deprivation of sleep, and deprivation of food and drink. That sounds like fraternity hazing.
Dude, it's crazy, bro.
So the British, they needed to intelligence gather. This was part of it. But the other thing, they set up laundromats in Belfast that were spy outputs or outposts. The brilliant thing about this is they could go collect people's laundry, test it for explosive residue. So if anybody was building bombs, they could take their laundry, go check out their clothes, and see if they were building bombs.
That's so crazy.
Also, if they got used to a normal load from a house and there was additional clothing there, they could tell if people were harboring IRA people who were on the run. Dude, the Brits are nasty.
Who wants to hear
dude.
my craziest theory that I'm starting to believe?
I think me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe it's possible that the U.S. didn't win the Revolutionary War, and we just presented it as that. And that I think the British Empire is way more powerful than people think. So I did an episode with Jay Dyer recently on Tinfoil Hat, and it's one of the most eye-opening discussions we've had on the show. And did you know this, guys? That the original fucking king of House of Saud was a British spy installed by the Brits.
Oh, you were telling me about this. So, yeah, you were saying that the Brits started Islam.
Well, it's not that they started Islam, but they basically infiltrated it and just completely manipulated it. And there's a good chance, here's where we're going to lose Dylan, that Israel and Saudi Arabia are basically just British colonies in a weird way, where they're just controlling the area. Yes, Israel represents historically religious lands, but it's basically that's how the British Empire is controlling those two areas.
It's interesting.
It's
really,
interesting,
really interesting,
dude.
Do you think that the Abraham Accords were a good or a bad thing? Because it's interesting to think about, like, I don't. Yeah, obviously, October 7th was quasi unprovoked. I mean, there's a big legacy of something that could cause those people to do that, but there's no direct provocation. But I see that the Abraham Accords might have been something that got, I can't remember if it's the Sunnis or the Shiites who are the minority.
I don't know about any of that, but to me,
I was a fan of the Abraham Accords. I think it's one of the best things that Trump did.
What exactly is Abraham Accords?
It was a treaty between the Saudis and the Israelis, basically bolstering the majority Muslim
that just
party.
fits in everything I'm talking about. I'm telling you, bro.
That's why I brought it up.
And the whole reason is that why are we so reliant on Saudi oil when we produce more oil than them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a great way to control a region.
I think the reason why is because we just want to control their dealings with other countries.
I think that's a big part of it too, but you actually control a region. And more importantly,
to think that you can control the Saudis and what shitty deals are going to strike with the Chinese and the Russians, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, but
that's
if
such hubristic thinking. And America does it all the time.
Respect.
Yeah.
As far as conspiracy theories go, though, I do believe that. I think that the British didn't really care, actually.
Will you look this up? Ben Franklin deal with British royalty for a percentage of taxes. There's actually discussion that our forefathers actually made a deal with the British government that the British royalty, that they get a percentage of our taxes. And
I mean, that sounds like that just sounds like wartime negotiations.
But forever, they're still collecting it
in perpetuity.
Yeah, that there is a discussion of that the Freemason founding fathers made this deal with the British Crown.
Here's the thing, though: the British Crown probably gets much more than just a percentage of our tax base.
I'm sure. I think when they say, she owns all this land, she does. Canada, United States, UK, Australia, New Zealand. Like, how much does she control of that?
Yeah.
But when you go back to what we're talking about, like the Saudis were nomads, right? And then, we can get into crazy stuff that I don't want to piss Dylan off with, but there is a good chance World War I and World War II is about the creation of Israel. There's a good chance of that. World War I was to wrestle the land from the Ottoman Empire, destroy the Ottoman Empire, and then World War II was about just setting up shop.
The Ottoman Empire, if they just hung around a little bit longer, would be frightening.
Or if they gave the British Crown, they gave the British government the land instead of not wanting to give it away.
I don't know enough about history, but the Ottoman Empire did not sound like the worst of the empires that we've had.
Yeah,
and
I'm with you on that.
I feel like we would be in a better place if we didn't try to wrestle away.
I am Armenian, so my family died. Family did die.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sorry for speaking so insensitively about the Ottomans.
Thank you.
Okay, so this requires a deep dive, and I need to look. I'm just too ill-informed to have a conversation
about what part of all this bombs
many
have been
people
dropping?
would say that the entire show I'm too ill-informed to.
Okay, respect.
But this specific issue, we should get into this at a later date because we got to wrap up the show anyways.
Okay.
Did you know? Go through the tabs real quick, Ryan.
Whoa.
You in this foot picture. It's just weird.
Dude, this is my favorite story. It is so funny to me. And how
do you sink that ship?
Yeah, how do you sink that ship? How do you make decisions that ship with a bunch of people on it is allowed to crash and burn? How do you do that?
Now, what we're not saying, don't hear what we're not saying, or the opposite, whichever the phrase is. We're not saying that lesbians can't drive ships. Are we saying that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it looks like they can't drive ships.
Well, it's a very small sample size.
Well, it's also that like when you study like the even like pilots, right? If you talk about the pilot, there's a real belief that the planes fly themselves. You're just there in case there's an emergency.
So you're saying that Amelia Earhart was a dyke and that's why she crashed?
Whoa, bringing it back. Wow. But my point is like, is there any way that these ships can't like basically navigate themselves and you're just there to make sure in case anything goes crazy?
Yeah. I mean,
these are advanced ships, right?
If Leslie Nielsen can fly a ship,
yeah, 100%,
or a plane, then anybody can, right?
She must be so pissed because people are just blaming her for the crash. And she's like, it was Bill. Right. Bill was working that night.
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Right.
I've done a long shift, you know?
Yeah, and then people are like, oh, okay, this is why you can't
it's a
hire
guy. It's always the guy's problem.
Yeah. But no, New Zealand and Australia are the laughing stock of the world right now.
I just don't understand. Like, it's so obvious that this is top-down forced on all of us.
Dude, there should be a goober kind of like regulation, okay? Look at me. I look like
Look at that, dude.
I look like a goober.
That is the face of your military.
You can't hire people who look like goobers to do anything militaristic. Okay? I'm a massive advocate for that. I shouldn't be anywhere near a ship.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
It would be disastrous. All right,
dude, think about all the pictures of great generals that you've seen in war.
Right.
Forever.
Right.
Forever. And then that's your person?
She's a gummy bear.
Dude, she's a barista at Starbucks. Look at that.
Yeah.
Do you want cold soy or do you want warm soy? Do you want us to heat it up?
Now, pull up Kayla Harris, UFC. We're not saying that women can't be captains. I mean, she could command a ship.
She could totally command a ship. That's her. Cyborg. Cyborg's been busted with steroids before, but yeah. I just think there's just women, just like there's twinks that are super femi men. Right. I think there's women that are super. Do I think that she's on something? It's possible. But she's also a gold medal judo.
I would, if she was leading people into battle, I'd be like, listen, I'm a goober. You can lead me into battle.
So they were actually doing something where they were testing people's hand strength, and she had stronger hands than men. Some of the men.
Yeah, she is absolutely on TRT.
And guess what? I don't care.
She's definitely got a Chris Brown clit.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Dylan from the top rope, bro.
Why do you always call? Do you notice that he always calls you Dylan?
Yeah, I did.
Always.
I'm sorry. So listen, a couple things.
We got to get out of here.
Okay, real quick. Just real quick.
This is your time frame, not mine.
Did you see that the first female coach of a professional sports team in America is a hockey coach? And this chick is gorgeous. And I think they lost the first game. Right?
And can I just say really quickly, it goes the same with men and women. We've established this. If Rick Moranis, who would you rather have leading you into battle? Rick Moranis or Kayla Harris?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, got it.
100%.
Okay.
But here we go. Because, look at this. They've decided, a professional sports league decided, that a woman who played professional female hockey, won 2 gold medals, should be the head coach of a male.
It's so stupid,
professional hockey league. So what you're telling everybody, and this is where sports is going to really get in trouble with her, with Bronny, with all this stuff. You're telling us it's not a meritocracy. Now, I am wishing her luck. I want her to do well. But what you're telling me is, like, of all the possible candidates out there, she was the most qualified. That's what you're saying to us.
That's why NFL is king. Jerry Jones, grandkid is not going to be a defensive end for.
Well, dude, like what's going on with Bronny right now is so bad.
Well, dude, there's this thing with like diversity and wokeism that I think people really, really don't understand. When you look at LA, we talk about our diversity, right? And how it's a great part of our
That's why
city.
people love living here.
Exactly. But the diversity wasn't created for people to be satisfied about diversity. Koreatown was created because Koreans wanted a place for themselves.
Yes.
That's why they made Koreatown.
Well, we also run together.
Right, but they were doing it so that they could have their culture for them in the place where they lived. And now we get the benefits of it. It's not this perverted, let's try to make everyone happy with this kind of bastardized thing.
Yeah.
You have to go about this stuff with more pure intentions than just profit maximization.
What it also is a bunch of people saying and that everybody's equal and nobody really has a special talent, right? Like, that's what they do with comedy. That's why Comedy Central is no longer relevant, because what they tried to convince everybody was everybody's equally funny. We just have to highlight these other people. And you're like, well, that's not true at all, okay? Comedy is a talent, whether you want it to admit it or not. But Comedy Central, Netflix, they don't want to play that game. They're going to go, oh, these people are equally talented. They just didn't get the opportunity. And now nobody cares about Comedy Central. What you're saying to everybody is this female coach was the best candidate because it's all about winning. There is nothing else.
It's an impossibility because and listen, I don't care if this is resurfaced, whatever, but like I'm gonna have some kind of fucking career in Hollywood, but women cannot coach men's sports at the highest level. Not because they're not able to do it, technically speaking, but there's a kind of like unwritten, unsaid thing about hyper masculine environments that women just don't know how to navigate. And it goes the same exact
way. It's alpha shit.
It goes the opposite way too. Men don't understand hyper feminine environments the way that women understand them. There's no woman that's going to walk into an NFL locker room and make sense of what's going on. It's just it's this intangible thing that is just a psychic wave that just doesn't translate.
These are
to
the
other
alphas
gender.
of alphas. I mean, think about this. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. These guys, even though it is that's NBA. These NHL players who are have been described as
craziest athletes,
and they're the nicest guy of all the athletes. My brother used to run this hotel in Arizona where all the athletes say. He said the nicest guys are the NHL guys. They're the nicest guys.
Yeah.
But make no doubts about it, they're still competitive. They want to rip your fucking face off on the rink because they want to win.
dude. Hockey is insane.
Yeah, right? It's the best live. It's the best game live. But here's the thing. These guys, it's like, listen, I study basketball. I love basketball. I love it. I love everything about it. I study it, okay? I could not walk in and just run a basketball team. Now, I don't have the experience of her because she played female sports. But even like if you look at Eric Spoelstra, right? Like he didn't play pro, but he started at the lowest level of the Heat organization and worked his way all the way up within the Heat organization, okay? To the point where they're like, okay, I think you get this. How long has she been with the NHL? How long has she been in the middle of that? You're putting her in an impossible situation.
Yeah. And again, it just gets back to the fucking, the gender is not a construct. Well, it is, but there's also very, very real things about it.
It's why there's no guy on The View.
Right.
Okay? Nobody ever's complained, why aren't there men on The View? Because that's for women. We understand that. They are trying to destroy us by going, oh, guy shit's our stuff too. Because we make the coolest shit.
Women don't want guy shit.
Well, some do because they just want to see the world burn, right? And they're all like, well, you're making more money than us. And it's just like, well, because more eyeballs watch our sport. I guarantee you there's a professional women's hockey league that nobody watches, including their parents.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Hope Solo. She acted like a guy and got completely ostracized because, no, seriously, she had a competitive asshole streak the way that LeBron James and Michael Jordan did. Well, not LeBron, Kobe and Jordan did, and it didn't play because it's a different kind of theater.
Yep,
it's
you're
a different,
totally 100%
it's a
right.
different environment.
I mean, dude, and like, how do you talk to this your coach?
We got to get out of here. Ryan's got to go look at his eye.
Okay, Ryan. All right. So, guys,
this was a bad episode.
I thought it was a great episode. I thought last week was hot garbage.
Get in the comments. Let us know.
Guys,
was it a bad episode?
Guys, my special is dropping this week, October 15th. You could watch it on Sam Tripoli, and then you can watch it on rumble.com/quiet.
And subscribe to the channel. There's still 25-30% of you that aren't subscribed. Just hit the subscribe button. It's not gonna do anything. It's just gonna help the show grow. Comment, like the video, engage with the show if you're enjoying it. Find us at patreon.com/aka Deep Waters, and most importantly, samtripoli.com. Quiet, October 15th. Laugh your guts out. They'll fall out of your butthole. It's fine. You
fall
can
out
put them
of your
back.
butt, fall out of your butt.
Pray for Ryan's eye. Pray for Sarasota.
Welcome
To Deep Waters.
Where are you going right now?
So they crank the 5G up, and then we just all get shaken and bacon microwave. I love it.
I didn't say that, you absolute moron.
There was no dinosaurs. Those were Nephilim giants from the Bible.
And Lucifer is in the Vatican?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it.
I think space is probably like
Just a giant liquid.
build it up, seal the well. When it's about to collapse, release the gays.
Are you going to get the jab?
Never.
Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters.